sermon. Due to COVID-19, we're not having a service with everyone here. So we're flattening the curve. Many people have heard a spiritual that begins, Ezekiel connected them dry bones. Ezekiel in the valley of the dry bones. Now hear the word of the Lord. Written by James Weldon Johnson, a civil rights activist and one-time leader of the NAACP, it is seen as a call of hope for the plight of African Americans living under the Jim Crow laws in the U.S. Inspired by the Bible verse from Ezekiel, the words of this song speaks of similar concerns years and years apart. It is a call to believe in the power of the Lord, in the hope that comes from believing what he can do for us. For African Americans who had been taken from their homes and brought to a land where people treated them as property to buy and sell, any message that gave them hope was a welcome one. The Israelites were also cut off from their land, despondent and without hope. God tells the prophet Ezekiel to talk to them. God takes Ezekiel to the middle of a valley that is filled with dry bones and asks him, "Mortal, can these bones live?" Ezekiel says, "O Lord God, you know." He was not a stupid man, and moreover, he did have faith in God's ability to do anything. God uses this image, this valley of the dry bones, to tell Ezekiel what he must tell the Israelites. He must tell them that God will bring them up out of their graves and put his spirit within them, that he will put them together from the dry bones, adding sinew and flesh and skin, so that bones become bodies, and add breath, so that they might stand and they might live. And these dry bones do rise to their feet, a vast multitude. And God tells Ezekiel to tell them that he shall put his spirit within them, so that they shall live. And Ezekiel should tell them that God will place them on their own soil, so that they shall know, says the Lord, that I, the Lord, have spoken and will act. This very powerful story was a message of hope to the Israelites, who had been in exile from their land, exiled to Babylon, facing, they thought, lifelong servitude, for they were slaves. People who are bound in slavery to another, or indeed bound to addictions, or enslaved in any situations where they are not in control, can lose heart, can feel that nothing is ever going to get any better. These days, as we stay in our homes with the purpose of flattening the curve of the global pandemic coronavirus, we might feel things will never get better. We are certainly not in control. But I can't help but feel as I shelter in my home, work in my backyard, watch movies with my husband, talk to family and friends on FaceTime, that I don't have it so bad. The meme I saw recently says, "Your grandparents had to go to war. All you're being asked to do is sit on your couch. You've got this." And that makes me laugh. These days, humor is essential. As we post sermons online and keep distance between us and stay in our homes except for essential work, or get supplies we need, we are doing this for the good of our neighbors. There are many who need the church right now, but we are trying the balancing act of doing both, with online services and visits that follow the guidelines. In Louisiana, which has the fastest growing rate of coronavirus right now, the governor asked residents statewide to only leave home for essential needs, period. But Tony Spell, the pastor of Life Tabernacle Church near Baton Rouge, has been holding services attended by about 1,000 people, bussed across 5 parishes. He had services last Sunday with plans to do it again Tuesday. They also plan to bus in 600 children for meals. Pastor Spell said he would close his doors if all retailers, such as grocery stores, closed theirs. He thinks the pandemic is politically motivated and further that his people have been cured of HIV/AIDS and cancer at his services. Asked what he would do if a member of his congregation contracted coronavirus, Spell shifted blame, asking did they contract it at Walmart or Target? He sees the order from the state as religious persecution and is defiant. He says that God would not give his worshipers the coronavirus, but as of just yesterday, there were 3,315 cases in Louisiana, 927 of those in hospitals, 336 on ventilators, and 137 deaths. Their cases are going up, just as they are all over the country. I guess some people see the idea of government telling you that you cannot congregate in church as controlling your access to God. I think God is with us wherever we are, but I also think God gave us brains and hearts for a reason. There's a lovely poster of a person sitting on a terrifying narrow edge of rock overhanging a canyon with the caption, "When we have nothing left but God, we discover that God is enough." Then at the bottom it reads, "We still shouldn't sit on cliffs. That's just dumb." The person sitting on the cliff is alone, so falling wouldn't take anyone along. The person potentially spreading the virus is taking risks that could infect and possibly kill others. I get wanting to be in your church, with your church family. I even get wanting to think that God still will perform a miracle that means your congregation stays free of the virus. But God wants us to help others, not just wait around for miracles. In the midst of wanting God to perform miracles for us, we have to realize we don't always get the whole picture. Trusting that God may have a purpose, even if it is just urging us to get off the couch and come up with ideas to help solve some of the problems around us, our own and those of others. This might make us more open to the miracles that do happen, even today. In today's world, now more than ever, it's time for us to follow hope. To believe in the miracles that can happen if you move forward with God, move into the light of love, and as Jesus tells us, believe in him. Believe in love, the first commandment. Treat others in the light of that commandment. Believe in the power of God. Believe that Jesus is the resurrection and the life. Paul's letter to the Romans warns his listeners to live in the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead, for this will give life to your mortal bodies. I see that message as not just giving us life after death, but that spirit giving us that life in our hearts and souls day by day if we let it in. On CBS News a month or so ago, I saw a segment about a man from New Hampshire named Peter Keller, whose son Travis died in 2016 at age 33, addicted to opioids and homeless. Travis was a slave to addiction. He couldn't get rid of it, and he couldn't take the help that was offered to get himself out. "I couldn't save my son," Keller said. His mother couldn't save him. His grandmother couldn't save him. He had that devil, that demon. So after Travis's death, this heartbroken dad began making soup for the homeless, a few bowls at a time. Now Keller's mission has grown. He heads the nonprofit Support the Soup Man, buys boots in bulk, and stocks a mobile closet full of warm clothes. He gives out backpack care packages filled with survival supplies to meet the needs of those who have nothing. He still makes soup. Other people stepped up to help fund the Soup Man, and he travels the snowy roads of New England in a big red bus, helping the homeless. Lucini Transportation of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, who donated the first bus, has now donated a second bus as the ministry has grown. Many people have also joined the website Support the Soup Man to help. Peter Keller took the death of his son as a call to do something for others who need the help, just as Travis did. He took the message of Christ into his heart. And instead of becoming bitter and despairing, Peter Keller found a way to honor his son and to live the message of Christ every day as he helps others who have lost their way. Every day, Keller says, I hope to make a difference in someone's heart. With so much need, he adds, he may never stop. In a sense, Peter Keller is a Lazarus. He could have died to life when he lost his son, but instead he came out when Christ called him. And now with the pandemic upon us, there are many ways to help each other. One simple but very important way is to take the threat seriously and to shelter in place. But as we do that, there are ways we can make a difference for someone else. Buy a takeout meal from a local restaurant to be delivered to someone who needs it, which helps both the local business and the person who gets the meal. Send letters to friends whom you have not communicated with. Call people to ask if they need help in shopping for groceries. Walk a dog for someone who can't get out. Give to the local animal shelter, or use technology to FaceTime or Skype with people you love. I have a musician friend who dons different hats and sings a different song each day, which he then posts on Facebook. He even takes requests. He broadcasts from his bathroom at home because he says that room has the best acoustics. I saw today that the Riverside Hotel in Garden City has opened up 30 rooms to house homeless families with children and medically vulnerable people from one of the shelters in town, Interfaith Sanctuary. This is a very nice hotel on the Boise River, where Rick and I go celebrate our anniversary every year. We go for the atmosphere, the music, the down comforters, the paths along the greenbelt, the amazing food, and the warm chocolate chip cookies they give you when checking in or out. And now another good reason to go, for their compassion. May we all find within us the spirit to do good works, to recognize those who need our help, and to find the strength and courage to follow the good examples we see in our communities and all over this world. The same man who wrote the song Dem Bones also wrote a song with his composer brother called Lift Every Voice, and sing the title song from a hymnal right here in the pews. These lyrics were recited by 500 school children as a tribute to Abraham Lincoln's birthday, as Booker T. Washington was visiting Johnson Stanton School in Jacksonville, Florida. And the words are lovely. Here's one stanza showing the faith that enslaved people had in the midst of their troubles. If we'd had church, we would have sung it, but you just have to find it on YouTube. I'm not going to sing it by myself. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. We have a lot of things to try to get victory over. Coronavirus is one of them. Caring about others is another. And just a reminder in case you forgot, God's work isn't done yet. Amen. Stay safe.